Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well this morning, and thank you so much for joining us today. We have Celebrity Cruises with us this morning. We have Susanna Romero here, and we also have Rick Eberst representing Celebrity Cruises, and we are actually going to talk about what awaits in the Galapagos, the journey that you can have with Celebrity Cruises. So Susanna, I'm going to go ahead and have you take it away. I do want to, one housekeeping item, everybody's muted. I have your cameras turned off, and we are going to have the chat feature at the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions, I will be opening up the chat floor and we will answer your questions from there. Susanna, all yours.
Thank you, Billy. Thanks so much for having us this morning. And thank you, Rick, for taking time to come join me. I always love having my colleagues with me because you never know what questions we may get. And it's great to have you with me. So thank you again.
My pleasure, Susanna. Thank you.
I hope you all enjoy my beautiful sea lion that's keeping me company here on the side. So good morning and great to see you. So a fabulous, legendary journey awaits you in Galapagos, and I assure you it's unlike anything you've ever seen in your life. We offer a truly seamless, environmentally conscious vacation celebrity style, because I assure you, you did not get up this morning and say, I'm thinking of going on a 3-day cruise or a 10-day journey through the Galapagos. It's a very different mindset, right? Those of you that are interested in this part of the world have a unique desire to discover, because there is a very, very big difference between just going somewhere and truly discovering it. And I want to show you what Galapagos looks like.
There are no other places like it on Earth. A place where the surrounding ocean is the undercurrent that creates a unique web of life.
The Galapagos Islands are unusually rich in wildlife, in large part because of the ocean.
Here, deep, cold, nutrient-rich water is forced to the surface, setting off a chain of events that give rise to a wealth of strange and wondrous animals. The Galapagos lie at the intersection of several major ocean currents. But it is one current that is especially important.
At the equator, a current within the ocean's depths flows eastward, striking the submerged base of the Galapagos Islands. This sets in motion the very essentials for the creation of life.
As the equatorial undercurrent strikes the base of the islands in the west, cold, nutrient-rich water flows to the surface and acts like fertilizer. Algae and phytoplankton bloom, producing the food that fuels the island's life.
The phytoplankton, or tiny drifting plants, are eaten by small drifting animals or zooplankton, which then feed a wealth of other creatures in the islands. Fish and squid eat the zooplankton and then are the prey for larger creatures.
Birds plunge and dive into the sea, where sea turtles and marine iguanas swim. Sea lions, penguins, sharks, and even whales come to feed.
When upwelling is the strongest, Galapagos is abundant with life. Animals reproduce. The young survive and juveniles grow strong. With strong upwelling in the west, marine iguanas grow large and dense in population. Penguins and flightless cormorants thrive, as does the underwater life. In the Galapagos, many of the animals are unique or endemic to the islands.
In the Galapagos, the ocean provides the fuel that sparks life. And here, it is rich, wild, and like no other place on Earth.
The ocean provides the fuel that sparks life. Isn't that amazing, right? So let me kind of share with you how we do this, because at the end, There is a way to get there, and there's a very easy way to get there with our packages. We offer all-inclusive packages, and when I say all-inclusive, I truly mean all-inclusive. That includes pre and post stays in Quito, Ecuador, the capital of Ecuador, round-trip flights to Baltra, Galapagos, which is where the ship awaits our guests, the 7-night cruise. That cruise is fully all-inclusive too. We're talking shore excursions, we're talking gratuities, we're talking all taxes and fees, Galapagos National Park entrance fees. In the pre and the post, everything is included. Your meals, and by the way, all of our meals are curated from a culinary gourmet approach because it's one of Celebrity's pillars. Because we also truly believe that in order to discover a country, you have to discover not only how it looks and how it feels, but you also have to learn how it tastes. So a taste of Ecuador and a taste of the Galapagos is included on all of our cruises. Here are some pictures of our pre and post packages. Quito, Ecuador is a very rich, culturally rich capital city. And we also have a package that continues on after the cruise into Peru, including Machu Picchu. Our flights from the US go straight into Quito. Very good flights, especially from the East Coast, but everywhere in the US. And here is a picture of the hotel that we use for our pre and post stays. It's the JW Marriott in Quito in the center of the city. Fabulous property that we've had a relationship with for the past 16 years in Ecuador. After we do our pre-stay in Quito, we fly on an exclusive flight. This is a flight that is dedicated only to our celebrity guests. So this is what makes us distinct and unique. Our pre and post stays are fully all-inclusive. They are comprehensive and they include this dedicated flight. So you go on a non-stop flight that is only for celebrity guests. Once you get to Galapagos, our naturalists are waiting for you and we get you on to the vessel because in our mind and the way that it should be, you must see this through the eyes of the experts. That is why all of our naturalists on board are certified by the Galapagos National Park, but also very important, our group sizes, once you get to the ship, are no more than 10. So guests go ashore with the Galapagos National Park certified naturalists in vehicles, sometimes Zodiac, sometimes a different type of tender, and you'll see those a little later with the Galapagos National Park certified naturalists. I know I said that 3 times, but it's really important. And only 8 to 10 of the fellow guests. There's a choice of activities when you go on land. We have hiking activities, we have kayaking, we have coastal exploration, we have advanced snorkeling, off the beach snorkeling. It all happens very organically, right? There is a briefing on board the vessel every evening. It's led by our lead naturalist. It's kind of the cruise director of expedition cruising. And that a cruise director brings to life what the next day's activities will look like. Then you, our guest, decides what they want to do. You sign up for whatever activity you choose to do. There's usually 2 landings per day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and at least 2 choices in every landing. And sometimes there is an activity midday. So this is a very, very active vacation. Very casual, no formal nights, no high heels. You don't need to pack a tie, guys. It's all very, very casual when it comes to being in Galapagos. So once you get ashore, and one of the big questions that I get asked all the time is, how close am I really going to get to these animals, right? Because some of you, as the big travelers that you all are, may have already been to places like a safari, right? And as you know, in a safari, you get in a vehicle, you get your binoculars, you go and you find the animals, right? Well, in Galapagos, it's kind of the opposite. When you get in, the animals are already there. And you are the one that has to kind of get out of the way because it's their world. And as Dr. Prager said to us in that video, this is a very nutrient-rich environment. Food is fueled from the sea, and it creates a very, very nurturing environment. What's truly unique and distinct is that in the Galapagos, animals have absolutely no fear of humans. And in reality, no one truly knows why that is. Many different theories, but the truth is they're not. So when you go ashore with your group of 8 or 10 fellow guests, you will get very up close and personal and will really learn the big significance of these animals in the area. I'll show you some examples. In here, you see a naturalist my good friend Fabio. I've known him for many, many years, talking to our guest about this marine iguana. And I should tell you, when I first landed in Fernandina Island, which is a volcanic island, it's actually one of the youngest of the islands in Galapagos in geological years. And for reference, this archipelago was formed out of the collision of two tectonic plates, right? Many, many, many millions, zillions of years ago. As these two tectonic plates collided, these islands were formed. This archipelago came about. And Fernandina happens to be a volcanic island that in this area has very little vegetation, if any. So I sat there and I pondered, well, what do they eat, right? So then I quickly learned that these are the famous sea-going iguanas. They actually dive for food. They have adapted to find all of their food source from the bottom of the sea. They have also adapted to, while they intake salt water, when they come out of the water, they have a behavior where they sneeze the water that they intook as they were trying to eat. So as you go through all of these islands, you do get to see and learn about a process of adaptation, a relationship between the environment, the food source, and how these animals have adapted to living here. In the case of the marine birds, the flightless cormorant is probably the one cormorant in the world, I believe is the only cormorant in the world that has lost its ability to fly. If you take a look at this bird and you see the size of the wings, they look like they're atrophied, and in reality they are. They no longer use them to fly. They're now balanced, right? They use them to walk on these rocks. They no longer fly because they actually, again, find everything that they need on the bottom of the sea. So you didn't know you were coming to a science class this morning, huh? Surprised you. So these are probably the best known marine birds in Galapagos. These are the famous boobies. The blue-footed booby is very curious. He is on our paths. He is everywhere. The red-footed booby is perched on trees. We find them in several islands in Galapagos. And the Nazca booby is more of a cliff type of marine bird in the islands. The waved albatross, the largest of the marine birds, the flying marine birds, comes to Española once a year. It comes in the month of February, March, and it stays there until November, December. Very curious bird, interesting courtship between the male and the female. Most of them mate for life. And what's interesting about it is, and what's unique about this island is that these youngsters, when they're born, they have to learn how to fly. But because they are so heavy, it's really difficult for them to take off just from a standing position, being on the ground. So these birds have learned a behavior where they actually spread their wings, they run towards the cliff of this island, they wait for the updrift, and they jump off the cliff to be picked up by the draft and fly. And this is how they show the youngsters how to fly. So everywhere you go through this experience, you will have those encounters of not only seeing what happens, but learning the importance of that bird and how it connects with its environment. Many opportunities for water activities, whether it's swimming or snorkeling. We do snorkeling from the beaches. We do deep sea snorkeling. When you do snorkeling in Galapagos, especially when you do it from the beaches, the marine mammals, the sea lions are incredible. My friend right here was actually blowing bubbles in my face while snorkeling. You see them on the beaches. You see our guests. These are our guests actually enjoying seeing the behavior of these mammals all over. You can find yourself swimming with sea lions, penguins, sea turtles, and yes, the occasional shark. Now, they don't come play, and we're kind of happy about that. But they are there. It's their environment, and it is where they live. Showing you some of the activities and how it looks and feels. I can sit here and talk to you about these islands for the rest of the day, but I know that our time is limited. So I want to introduce you to our fleet. We have 3 vessels in Galapagos: Exploration, a 16-passenger catamaran; Expedition, an amazing 48-passenger yacht that used to be for 100. So imagine the space on that vessel. And then our brand new Celebrity Flora, which is the state-of-the-art all-suite vessel in Galapagos. Exploration, again, 16 passengers, intimate, exclusive, maybe a family gathering, maybe a special celebration. If you want to go with 16 people, now you better be a good sailor, right? Because this is very close to the water. This is truly adventurous, and I'll walk you through what she looks like. She's absolutely beautiful. Again, offering the great cuisine that we offer on all of our celebrity vessels. Celebrity Expedition is iconic. She is the one that started it all for celebrity cruises in Galapagos. She is actually our lady of the sea. She was originally outfitted for 100 passengers with 50 staterooms. She's now only carrying 48, and she is absolutely stunning. Great outdoor spaces, indoor and outdoor dining, dining under the stars. She actually brought luxury cruising into Galapagos back in 2004. And then we built Flora. Flora was purpose-built, and she is truly different and distinct. And I want to show you what she looks like and allow you to see some of the comments that we consistently receive. You see this vessel from the platform and how you get on board and the easiness of getting on and off this vessel, the materials and the decor and the design. This vessel was truly designed with the Galapagos Islands in mind. We extensively researched and talked to our designers to make sure that this ship complemented the destination and made sure that it was as good as it could be in such an interesting terrain. It is important that we continue to bring a genuine Galapagos experience while giving you the luxury experience that you're looking for. These are all suites. We start at 325 square feet and go up to almost 1,300 square feet. Very organic, very in tune with the destination. And again, our number one purpose was that we would create a luxurious refuge for our guests to come back to the ship to. All of our beds face outward, so no matter where you are in the ship, whether you are in a restaurant or outdoor or even in your room, you are looking out into the destination. We felt this was truly a way to honor these islands with this ship that has the highest level of environmental practices in Galapagos. This vessel features dynamic positioning, which allows for this vessel to stay in position without the use of anchors. It has zero-speed stabilizers. We have solar panels on board this vessel. Every bell and whistle that you can imagine is on this amazing vessel. And as it should be, everything about Flora and truly everything that we do in Galapagos is truly special. From our social and eco-responsibility programs, which I know are very important to you and your families, you should know that our guests to date have planted more than 50,000 trees in the #1 and only program with the Galapagos National Park that allows guests to be part of reforestation program, the Scalesia tree, to everything else that we've talked about. And there's one very special thing that we do in Galapagos, which is Galapagos glamping. Our guests have the opportunity to spend the night under the stars on board the vessel. We have cabanas. I know, I see you all going, yeah. We have cabanas out there that we outfit. We give you 2 cabanas. One serves as your living room, dining area. We do a camp-inspired dinner under the stars with the services of a naturalist to do your own private stargazing opportunity. And then the second cabana serves as your bedroom. We even bring you breakfast at sunrise if you choose to truly spend the entire night out there. So this is truly unique and different. And even more important to me is the lady that we chose to be our godmother. And I'll show you who she is and why she's so important to us.
never dreamt that I would be working on environmental issues. With a group of friends, we created the first environmental NGO in Ecuador. And I started volunteering. The more you learn, the more passionate you become about doing something. I had never known that you could be a godmother of a ship. This is going to be a path that we walk together in interesting opportunity and challenge.
Impressive lady, former Minister of the Environment in Ecuador and the former President of the World Wildlife Fund. Truly remarkable lady. So just in case you're wondering if there are any offers out there, yes, there are. And I really encourage you to speak to your Mann travel professionals about it. We have a 50% off second guest and air included. So this is a fantastic time. Again, fully all-inclusive. Right now, all you need to do is make one phone call and you have your 10-night experience all together for you. And I want to open it up for questions.
Yes, thank you so much, Susanna. That was wonderful. Again, we are using the chat feature. You are all muted, but if you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat feature on Zoom. I'm going to open it up. I don't really see any, but I actually have a question. When is the best time to go to the Galapagos?
No, Billy, everyone asks that. And the truth is that for me, the worst day in Galapagos is the best day in the world. So it is truly a year-round destination. It is on the equator, so it is always warm. And there are no storms like we think about seas when we think about cruising. There are two seasons, right? The seasons are called, the wet season happens in February, March, April, May. And that is truly where the water temperature is the warmest. Now, they call it the wet season because sometimes there's a mist in the air. There's never downpour, so there's never a day where we can't go ashore because of rain. That doesn't exist that way in these areas. It does happen in the highlands, but it's not areas that we visit from our ship. So the warmer temperatures, and I'm talking hot temperatures, more in the high 80s, could even be low 90s, happen in the opposite of our weather. It happens when it's the coolest in the US. So if you're wanting to go to Galapagos because you want to be in the water all the time, then maybe you should go January, February in our winter, right? But if you're like me, where you prefer to do the longer hikes and you want the air temperature to be a little cooler, and again, cooler, it's very subjective. I live in Miami, Florida. If it's 80, it's cool because I'm used to 95-degree weather, right? But it will be somewhere in maybe the low 80s or high 70s. I prefer to go June, July, August, September. Temperature of the water may be a little cooler, but we give everyone wetsuits when they go in the water, so we solve for that problem. So year-round, anytime. My question to you is, Billy, is when can you go?
Correct, I agree with you. So when can we go to the Galapagos? I don't see any other questions in my chat feature. So in addition to what Celebrity is offering today, Mann Travels is also offering a $50 Visa gift card for every new booking valued at $2,000 or more. So we hope that you can plan now and travel later. Please reach out to Mann Travels or your personal travel advisor for any questions you may have. You can get in touch with us via our website, our 1-800 number, or you can email vacations@manntravels.com. I'd love to thank everybody for joining us today. And again, thank you to our celebrities. And I hope you enjoyed the presentation today on the Galapagos with Celebrity Cruise Lines. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.